Hey guys, Tyler2K here. We're going to go ahead and do a breakdown on the Anna Williams trailer. I figured we'll have the sound going temporarily. We'll go ahead and cut it out because I know the slow motion can really mess things up. But we did do a live watch of the trailer reveal, the Season 2 information that we got. Haven't got too much information in the meantime, but we'll go ahead and at least cover Anna. So starting off, the bazooka she's holding, the lovely Tom evidently, major component of her game plan. Let's go ahead and watch this in slow motion. Hopefully the sound wasn't too bad while both were going on. So let's go ahead and slow motion down. So we see Excelsior Expulsion incoming. Okay, launch punish on block, presumably still. So from here, we see Anna perform what looks like either some sort of new full crouch, down forward 2, or wall stand 2. It's obviously the first whoop move we see, and seeing as how up 1+2 with Victor is launch punish full, it would point it to being her new wall stand 2 option. But they do show wall stand 2 later on. We'll get to that. So for now, let's call this wall stand 2. So wall stand 2 causing what's interesting. We see the basically nosebleed animation kind of been antiquated in Tekken 8. Maybe this is a sign nosebleeds are coming back. Realistically, this is going to be more similar to what we see with a character like Shaheen, where he does like a forward 2-3 plus 20 ass stun state. So basically from this position, Victor can do nothing apart from blocking. So no low parrying, no attacking. He just has to guess incoming. So Nina goes for a big horizontal mid swipe, or Anna, my apologies, into a high option, maybe NC, presumably from the knockover into a big ground spike. Someone had mentioned it looks very similar to No Exceptions, Negan in the past game. But presumably, like I said, because the nosebleed state, the plus 20, this first hit's not guaranteed. Victor just guessed incorrectly against the mid horizontal strike, and then we see the high follow-up and guaranteed hit after. Presumably block the mid, duck the high, and then launch punish Anna. Okay, we see 4-4-1+2, her variation on Blom Bomb. For people who don't know, Anna typically has two different Blom Bombs. She has forward 1+2, and then she has forward 1+2. Forward 1+2 by itself is punishable, but this move where her arms kind of spread out is safe on block, and also a nice little way to end combos if you need the extra range. What's interesting is because the red spark that we see Anna perform, this is actually a not an armor breaker, but it breaks through power crush. Not only that, we also see the red chip damage being performed onto Victor. But again, if Victor was to go for a power crush or heat burst or anything, this would technically armor through it. Also, you can't reverse it. You can't, well, parry it you can, but you can't reverse it. Actually, can you even parry red? I don't even remember anymore. The rules have kind of changed ever since the beginning of like early season 1, I should say. Okay, safe on block, pushback. Both roughly at the same frame. Looks like maybe slight plus instead of -8 or -9 of the old game. Now Anna goes for down back 1-3. So from this position, she used to have just one option, which was down back 1-4. We don't know for a fact whether down back 1-4 is completely gone, because typically what you do your combo, end with the down forward 1-4, you delay the final hit, and it would flop them on the floor and deal unskilled damage. So a good little amount of burst damage if you didn't want to go for like a running 2-3 ender. Here though, Anna performs down back 1-3, which is a mid-high string, and also NC, and would push Victor very far away into a wall splat position for follow-up combo and whatnot. Okay, 2-3, entering into CGM. From here, she goes into roll, underneath the gun shoot for Victor. Post roll, I think she does an empty roll, so she just stays in FC, where she now crouch cancels with up forward 3, beating incoming EI4. That puts Victor into a knockdown state, and from here, Anna goes for her down 3+4 stomp. What's interesting to note on this up forward 3, the knockdown position is a little bit different. In Tekken 7, this would leave Victor the other direction, such that down back 3 would be guaranteed, and if you try to get off the floor, down back 3 would be a launcher. But now he's now in a more proper face-up, feet towards position, allowing for the stomp finisher going on. It's important. Up forward 3, they'll show it later too. Okay, so good block on Shoe Shine. Launch punishable. We see presumably a wall stand 1-2 that now leads into a shoot. She cancels the shoot. Notice how Victor, as we talked about earlier, is now in one of these nosebleed flop states. So again, -20. So opts not to go for the bazooka, the Tom, and instead goes into CJM stance. So there's also two major things to note here. So first of all, she cancels stance into Chaos Judgment. So from Chaos Judgment, the Chaos Judgment, if you either try to throw her or go for a low, well, the low will lead to a launcher guaranteed. If you try to throw her, she'll reverse her throw. But what's interesting about this otherwise is that notice how Victor is in a full crouch state, left in FC, and now performs a down back 4 out of FC, presumably. So that's how she's able to reverse it. So technically, he couldn't be able to do that previously. He would have to do down back 4 out of standing only, but we'll see. So we got the reversal off of CGM. She follows up with a QCF1, which now has a blue spark. For people who don't know, there's one of two things what blue spark really represents. In Tekken 8, a lot of it really represents just damage. For the most part, it is either a question of speed, where your second follow-up hit is at a particular frame or timing, or for single hit blue sparks, they usually represent speed. So at its absolute quickest, I think QCF1 is 11 plus quarter circle forward input. So this is representing basically, this is the absolute fastest QCF1 you can do. And because of that, they typically do about 3 to 4 extra damage in your combos. So if you can get a blue spark, it's up to you to try to do a blue spark combo every single time. Okay, into standing 4, 2, high option, ending with a Blom Bomb, which causes a tornado spin. From here, we see running 2. Instead of going for the 3, though, she now goes for running 2-4, which leaves this big, like almost tiger knee pushback animation, putting Victor into a rolling state airborne, which would allow for a proper wall splat afterwards. Okay, we see an introduction here with Lydia. And I'll skip ahead. Yeah, basically she's talking about how Lydia loves her sweets and whatnot, and evidently Anna's a chef now. I don't know, whatever. Okay, so we see Lydia 3-2, which is a high. Anna ducks under it, performs her hand sweep, which is now an instant tornado spin. From here, she goes for up forward 3, which appears to cause some sort of strong aerial tailspin, although it looks a little bit slow, so maybe not. Maybe it's normal airborne flop state. Down 4-1. Going for a running 2, but instead of going for running 2-4, she pulls out Tom and does presumably like a running 2, 1+2 or something like that. There's a good chance maybe this is high despite the fact she's ducking, or is punishable on block. Very reminiscent of like Nina running 3, where Nina can go for like the immediate kick away, or she can go for the overhead, which you can sidestep to get to her back and launch Punisher for. Okay, sidestep out, sidestep 2 option. From here, goes for wall stand 3, which now has a brand new property of a counter hit spark, guaranteeing, it looks like presumably, a CGM 2-1 afterwards, leading to heat engager. So one of the major changes with Tekken 8 Season 2 is now you can be left in FC post heat engager. So you're still plus 17, but now you're left in full crouch. So I made that video, you might have seen about it, top right corner for full crouch meta and what character we probably are going to see in Season 2 because of their defining features. So from here, she's in heat mode. She goes for hand sweep, which now has an extension built off of it. Hand sweep into a low. Presumably still a low launch punishable option. You block both of them, it probably jails. What's interesting to note, okay, not yet, my apologies. Okay, so now an advancing variation on, it looks like her old CGM 3, but instead, I believe this is like just a new animation for down forward 3, or maybe some sort of variation off of that, like forward 3 or something to that effect. So down forward 3, 1+2, heat dash cancel. So obviously had meter, so full line. Pickup line into that wall stand 2, looking very similar to like Reina down forward 2. And now she ends with a QCF1. So presumably, post wall stand 2, you tap down forward to enter into crouch dash. And then from here, you tap 1 to go for the CD1, which now pushes far, far away. Okay, blocks incoming. Down 4 into some sort of big overhead, which is more than safe on block. Might actually be plus frames, maybe about +3, maybe +4. Where we see this pressure afterwards. So let me go ahead and go through it one more time. So if we watch this in like fast speed, it almost certainly as the defender, you're probably going to have to challenge this. Otherwise, you give your return up And then furthermore, this looks like it would hit ground as well. But yeah, you have to challenge the down 4, presumably 1+2, to try to interrupt her, which leaves her open, or you open rather, to a couple things. So first of all, you know, oh, actually, I'll wait for it because they're literally about to show it. Now we see down 4, and instead of 1, we see the old animation of down back 4, which is part of the 50-50 between the overhead mid option or the low option. So if you think, for instance, so yeah, come to think of it. So yeah, this isn't like a normal down 4. This is like command down 4. So maybe down 3+4, 1+2. And then the 50-50 off of here is, okay, well, if they think they're going to duck your down 4-1 and launch punish you for it, oh, hey, now we have this overhead dunk option where you get pushed into the floor and big plus frames. What's important to note, because I talked about like down back 4-4 with a character like Anna, it's important to note that this kick in Tekken 7 is launch punishable, I believe -16C. So assuming this is still the same frame data, this is very much launch punishable. So if you guessed the 50-50 correctly on the down 4-1 or down 4-4, you can launch Anna on block. Very important to note. Okay, so 4-4, 1+2, -12 on block, I believe. So here we go. So now we see the meat of the down 4-3, presumably. So as mentioned, this is the same animation and speed as CGM3. Step kick, but now a 12-frame punisher into a low. So probably down 4-3-3, leaving her in FC. From FC, we now see the old wall stand 2. So what I think is likely going on here is this is not wall stand 2. This is now full crouch down forward 2 for your I-15 launcher out of FC. Okay, meter pop. Basically, she does the old down 2, but now it's with a down 1 instead. Into her heat smash. What's important to note here is her heat smash is like a female heat smash, very fast. So let's see, that's probably frame 1 or frame 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. So yeah, so 12 plus 1. So this is a 13 frame heat smash. And most importantly, anytime under the effects of heat mode, she uses her bazooka, and we'll see this later, she actually has a new effect that's brand new to her, and it looks like she causes some sort of damage over time or dot effect. What's important to note, and we'll see it better in the next footage, notice how Lydia is glowing purple, and it's hard to see, but she also has a little bit of a raindrop effect on her to signify that she is poisoned. So we don't know the details if this is truly a dot effect or if it just reduces the effect, the like efficacy of like health regeneration under the effects of heat mode or something to that effect. I think it's personally a dot effect because there's a time limit seemingly on it. Again, this is just a trailer footage. We don't know quite enough. But yeah, we will show this later on, so we'll go ahead and keep going. But yeah, notice how Lydia is still under the effects of poison post-knockdown. Okay, so speaking of which, where would be the fun of Anna if it wasn't for her sister? Both of them in the lore are assassins from Ireland with the most American accents ever, but whatever. Neither here nor there. Cryogenically frozen, I mean, you name it. It's kind of silly stuff, but whatever. Cool animation, though, both of them performing like the can opener animation post. So, okay, so we see back 2-2 from Anna, or sorry, from Nina. She cancels the second hit into CD, or crouch cancel, rather. And now for Anna, we see back 2-2, but what's important to note is that back 2-2 is not causing a knockdown state. So presumably still I-14 for Anna, but no longer a knockdown. Instead, it's plus frames. From here, Anna goes for an up forward 1+2, but instead of doing the catapult launcher where you chuck her, she now goes for a step up launcher into what I call basically an Ong Bak. Because yeah, this is very much an Ong Bak animation, and man, it looks awesome to see that. Like, that looks brutal. That looks awesome as shit. Okay, down forward 1-2, bomb -14. So we see down forward 1-2 back, I-13 for both Williams sisters. And now she cancels the 3 into CGM. From CGM, she goes into a low sweep, looking very similar to Leo, like K&K 3+4. It is a homing attack. Notice the homing spark, or the homing sprite, I should say. But what's interesting is this is presumably launch punishable, but doesn't actually lead to a launcher. Instead, she's back into CGM. CGM 3 I-12 counter launcher, but it now can be heat dash canceled or heat dash enhanced, heat enhanced with a bazooka or a Tom style attack. And it very reminiscent of like Mortal Kombat, where you can like charge your attacks and do multiple hits simultaneously. I don't know if this will be safe on block. What's important to note though with this Tom attack is that Nina during the state is not under the effects of poison. So it really begs the question, when does Tom poison the opponent and when does Tom not poison the opponent? Because right now it's currently ambiguous. Okay, we see a brand new attack from Nina. Probably maybe a brand new down forward 4 into shoot. Kind of similar to like Victor down forward 4. Although Nina's, it appears to be I-12. I'm not going to do the frame count. I counted earlier. So probably punishable. Now we see the down forward 3. It's minus 10 on block. Down forward 3, cancel option to 1. Into a Tiger Knee Tom attack. But notice how Nina is now under the effects of poison. As talked about, she has the purple glow, and she kind of has this raindrop effect going on. The other thing of note here is that Anna's not under the effects of heat mode when she performed this attack. So it does appear to be safe on block, maybe with pushback. If they're like by a wall, it's not safe. 443 minus 14. Okay, she goes for 443, 4 into CGM. Has to guess, cancel CGM with CGM 3 plus 4. And now Nina loses her poison effect. What's important to note is that when you go through a power crush, the game doesn't consider you as hitting the opponent or blocking the opponent. That might change in Season 2. I highly doubt it. Maybe in order to get your health back, you have to deal damage, quote unquote. What's important to note, the 443 on block doesn't actually get rid of the poison effect. But maybe it's something to do with it, or my theory specifically, it's more timing based. Maybe for like 4 or 5 seconds, you're under the effects of poison mode. Now, they don't show it how it looks like, but in the Season 2 developer talk, if you look at the person's, like the character's image, there's a poison effect there, purple with the raindrops, to show you that that opponent is indeed poisoned, for note. Okay, wall stand 1, shoot. Goes for the hell sweep, the down back 3 plus 4. 3 plus 4, I believe it is, or 4 maybe. Wall splat. Then goes into the big horizontal slash, although that one looked high from the hitbox there, so probably a high. Okay, wall blast effect. No spin used quite yet. Okay, so yeah, notice how she's not under the effects of poison. This is heat engager. So if you need the distinction between, it's very similar. Maybe they'll change the art slightly by the effect, or by the time it comes out. Okay, so we see down forward 3, either 4-3 or down forward 3 plus 4. Kind of hard to say. Causing tailspin. I splat, and now we see almost like very similar to like a Lily down back 3 plus 4. I would assume this is down 3 into a heat mode shoot option. I think I did the frame count. I think it's 20 or 21. So it's basically invisible. You're going to have to guess against it. I would assume maybe the heat version makes it safer, but I can't really see it being much safer. I think it just does bonus damage for punishable. Okay, so from here, we see, well, actually, come to think of it, she was in full standing already. So this initially I thought that was full crouch up forward 4, which is her basically big stagger low launcher if you want to go for something a little bit more flashy. But here she kind of flash kicks it because she is in full standing, ducks, and then does the flash kick. Interesting. I don't know if that means this is just up forward 4 in general, or if this means like you can like flash kick input. But either way, airborne state, because Nina's going for her orbital, her up forward 1, causing spin launcher. And then from here, Anna goes and does her rage art. So we see Tom hit, the lights come out, here's her helicopter, bunch of shooting at Nina into like a missile salvo barrage where she blows up Nina again. So yeah, that was Anna Williams. If I made a mistake or if I missed anything, please let me know. I think we pretty much caught everything, but there's still a chance, or maybe some additional information I missed during the trailer. Also, it's coming out on March 31st in America, with the official release 4 days later. What's interesting is Season 2 doesn't come out technically until April, so I don't know if this means Anna's going to be in Season 1, or if Season 2 is going to be out earlier for everyone. than what they originally had talked about. Or maybe they're just saying, okay, April 31st in America is like March 31st in America is April 1st in Japan. So maybe that's what they meant. But yeah, here's the schedule. Summer stage, 3 characters, and then a winter stage. Presumably the winter, again, is going to be a guest character of some sort. So we'll go ahead and cover that. But yeah, that's about it for Anna Williams. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. That's all.